The history of Irish deaf sports. There is a long history of Irish involvement in sports for deaf people. Their involvement began in the 19th century. This involvement developed over the years, mainly focusing on a few sports, namely football, swimming, table tennis, and athletics. Deaf people were naturally passionate when it came to sport. Football. Interest and participation began in the early days of St. Joseph's. Footballers later played against teams from Belfast and Liverpool. The St. Vincent's Football Club was established in 1949 as St. Philomena's, before changing its name to St. Vincent's Football Club. St. Vincent's took part in hearing leagues and participated in knockout cup matches for many years. Annual matches between Dublin and St. Vincent's against Belfast took place, and they were referred to as the Father Sweeney Trophy. Swimming. Peter Carr was noted for swimming, as he was involved in swimming for a long time. Swimming peaked between the 1970s and 2000s, when new swimming pools were opened in schools for the deaf children. This resulted in countless medals won and world records in Deaf Olympics being set. 7 women completed the English Channel Challenge, swimming from England to France recently. A deaf man also completed the English Channel Swimming Challenge. Athletics. A lot of deaf people excelled in athletics and participated in local clubs in the following: sprint, to be 100 metres, middle distance, that's 1500 metres, and long distance, including marathons. Deaf people are still participating in marathons, both in Ireland and abroad. More and more deaf people are now getting involved in triathlon events. Table tennis. Table tennis was a very popular sport between the 1960s and the 2000s, playing at local, national and international levels, including the Deaf Olympics, in deaf schools, as well as in local deaf clubs in Dublin and Belfast. The Irish Deaf Sports Association, or the IDSA, is what it's sometimes referred to as. It's now Deaf Sports Ireland, was formed in 1968. The IDSA joined the Comité International des Sports des Sourds, now called the International Committee of Sports for the Deaf, in 1969. Irish deaf people participated in the World Deaf Games in 1973 and continued participating to date, as well as in events organised by the European Deaf Sports Organisation. A plethora of medals were won, particularly in swimming, and the Irish deaf football team won the silver medal in 1989. Quite a number of other medals were won also. Interprovincial tournaments started in 1974, beginning with football. Then later on, more sports like basketball were added. The history of Irish deaf sports is rich, with a lot of achievements over the years. And with lots of medals being won, world records being set in events like in the World Deaf Games, the Deaf Olympics, and other international events like in European events. Deaf sports people also won national awards in mainstream events, among others. If you want to know more, have a look at this table.